So what is going on, guys? I am BlackOpsAmazing. Welcome back to another video, and today I just wanted to have a discussion with you guys and talk about something that I've been thinking about lately, considering the content that we've recently got within Vanguard Zombies. And I suppose the overall message I thought about was, well, are Treyarch just wasting their time with this game? Season 1 Reloaded has recently just released in this game, but you wouldn't think it. If you've seen videos that people have uploaded, the interest on Twitter, Reddit, although obviously because we don't know the player count of Vanguard Zombies, I don't imagine it's that high. Being someone who uploads videos on YouTube, I know the amount of interest in this, and well, if we look back to what Zombies used to be, every time we got a new content drop, whether it be DLC 1, 2, 3 and 4, that's how it used to work, or more recently in COD, where we now have seasons, we have season 1 to 6, every season, I would say, in Modern Warfare, Black Ops Cold War, there was always some excitement at the beginning. Even the Reloaded updates that we got about halfway through, we have just gotten our very first Reloaded update in Vanguard. This was Season 1 Reloaded, but you wouldn't think it. And I would even argue that the content we got last week was bigger than what we got in Season 1, which is totally the opposite as to what it's supposed to be. Normally we get the big stuff at the beginning of the season, and then halfway through we get some other things that are supposed to last us the month until the next season. But I feel like with Vanguard it was different. The content that we got in Season 1 Reloaded, in my mind, was bigger and more important compared to what we got at the beginning of Season 1. But either way, there's still absolutely no interest, and I can only speak for the Zombies portion since I don't play the multiplayer, but even for that I know people aren't interested. But just speaking on the Zombies mode for this video, considering it was only a week ago we had the Season 1 Reloaded update, nobody cares. No one's interested. It feels like Treyarch have gone through, I don't want to say all of that hard work, but they've added content into this game, some important stuff as well, like a Pack-a-Punch camo, which admittedly we should have got back in November, but that was added in a week ago. The very first Easter egg, again in quotation marks, we got that a week ago in Season 1 Reloaded. We also got a new area, the Tomb of Rituals, some more information to do with the story, and also not forgetting the round-based mode. But here we are over 7 days later and everyone's forgotten about it. No one cares. It just feels like at this point Treyarch are wasting their time adding content into this game. I feel like Treyarch are going about the Zombies mode this year in the totally wrong way. I would have thought, because I figured this out myself, so I thought maybe Treyarch would latch onto the same idea as well, but they're adding content into this mode that people don't want. Obviously I'm not speaking for everyone here, but the majority of players don't want to play Duran Fang. Yet in Season 1 Reloaded they add a new region, they add an Easter egg that here we are a week later and no one cares about. Yes, we did need Pack-a-Punch camos 2 months ago. The Tomb of Rituals again is something that we should have had 2 months ago. That's essentially just the ability to upgrade your field upgrades. Treyarch are 100%, in my opinion, going about Zombies this year in the wrong way. They know the reception that this Zombies mode has had. I know that. Treyarch developers are on Twitter. We've even seen by their apology they're aware of the reception. They should be aware of what players do and don't like about this game, but I still feel in Season 1 and Season 1 Reloaded they've continued to add content in that ultimately, after 1 day of playing, everyone forgets about. And I said this a month ago. I pleaded to Treyarch, please don't continue to add content into this game that people don't want, that people aren't going to play, or that's only going to last one game. Instead, I'd so much prefer them to work on stuff that we do want. For example, an actual round-based Zombies map. It's so baffling to me how they know we don't like Duran Fang, yet they continue to spend their time to add new regions towards it, or new objectives. Why not spend the time and resources you've used doing that to create a round-based Zombies map? Put that time towards releasing the Easter egg quicker, adding a pause button to this game, adding more Easter eggs, and when I say that, I mean actual meaningful ones, not just something as simple as us going up to a portal, pressing the interactive button, and hearing a radio. If we go back and look at what we got in Season 1 Reloaded for Black Ops Cold War, we had a new Zombies map that was Fire-Based C, a new Zombies mode that was Cranked, and new weapons and operators, that's nothing. And then we come to Vanguard and we've gotten filler content that people 2 months ago said they don't want. It just feels like lately, and I think they began to do this a little bit in Cold War as well, but I would even say ever since Black Ops 4, Treyarch don't listen to the Zombies community anymore. And if they do, well, that's not how it comes across. They say, this is what we're making, we're going to add what we want into the game, and we don't care what the community think about it. This is our game, and that's fine, I suppose. Yes, they can create whatever they want, but with anything where you've got fans and it's customer service based, you're then gonna piss off the community, and that's not what I'm too bothered about. It's more so that it feels like Treyarch are just wasting their time at this point. I just don't understand why they'd spend their time adding stuff like this into the game that people don't want, that people aren't going to play. Instead, put that towards stuff that we do want. A round-based zombies map. They added this kind of round-based mode into Vanguard in Season 1 Reloaded, and as far as I'm aware, people played it once and that was it, because this isn't what people asked for. This is a half-baked, kind of like midway mode. Instead of working on a round-based map, what they've done is gone halfway and added a round-based mode, but the only way you can actually play it is by completing objectives. It totally defeats the point of round-based zombies, because you still have to complete objectives in order to get there. It's just such a weird strategy that Treyarch have been taking over the past few years. One thing I will say is, within Vanguard, not everyone on Treyarch Zombies development team is working on this game, and I know this because if you look at Kevin Drew's tweet, in his bio it says he is the lead game designer at Treyarch, he is in charge of the zombie systems and Outbreak in Black Ops Cold War. I think someone must have tweeted him asking him to change something about Vanguard Zombies, and he replied to them saying, I don't work on Vanguard directly, but you can flag Treyarch CM to make sure the issues are being tracked. So if he is the lead game designer at Treyarch in charge of the zombie systems and he worked on Outbreak and Black Ops Cold War, if he isn't working on Vanguard Zombies, and I've heard this elsewhere as well, but I'm wondering then how many people that work on Treyarch Zombies are actually working on Vanguard. Is it just half of the Treyarch Zombies team working on this game? Is it a quarter, a third? It'd be interesting to know, because it's definitely not the full amount. In a way, that's kind of exciting for Treyarch's next game in 2023, because if it was all of the Treyarch Zombies members working on Vanguard, then that would mean by the time their next full game comes out in 2023, they would have only had 1 full year to work on the zombies mode, maybe a little bit over that. But if only half of Treyarch Zombies development team are working on Vanguard, then that could potentially mean their next game in 2023, because their last one was Cold War, the zombies mode could have had the full 3 years development. However, not every single member would have been working on it for the full 3 years, because half of the team are working on Vanguard Zombies. But even with that, there are a lot of reasons to be excited about the zombies mode for their next game. But just going back to the more recent times, that I suppose is one reason why Vanguard Zombies is, well, definitely not up to standard. If only half of the Treyarch Zombie development team are working on this game, then that could explain why we are getting filler content like this. Maybe because there aren't enough developers to make an actual round-based zombies map. That combined with they only had about 6 to 8 months to actually work on it. But I still don't think that has any effect on them listening to us. And I'm not saying this for myself or you guys, but more so for them. I don't want Treyarch spending their time, or should I say wasting their time, adding things into Vanguard Zombies that we don't want, that people aren't going to play, that people don't care about. If I can see this, surely they can, but the only difference is I'm sat here questioning, why are they still doing it? I'd much prefer they gave us less content in Season 1, and by that I mean irrelevant content, stuff that we don't really need, like new objectives in Duran Fang, new regions. Personally, I think Duran Fang is totally finished. Whatever they add to this mode now, because of the bad perception that people already have with it, it's too far gone, there's no fixing it. So what Treyarch should do is just forget about Duran Fang and work on a new map. And this also worries me because when they do eventually add the main Easter egg into this map, which we know is coming in Season 2, I can guarantee you, after a day, no one is going to care. And even on the day of release, it's probably going to be the least hyped Easter egg we've ever seen in zombies. And we can get a pretty good idea of this because if we go back to Outbreak in Black Ops Cold War, the 2 Easter eggs that we got in that mode didn't release on day 1, on the day that Outbreak released. So when Treyarch finally did add the main Easter eggs into that mode, the hype surrounding the Outbreak Easter eggs was nowhere near the level that we had in any other zombies map, because it didn't release on the same day that the map did. So because by the time the main Easter egg in Duran Fang releases, the map itself will be about 3 months old. The map is also hated already by a lot of people, so when they add the main Easter egg into it, I think Treyarch would have just wasted 3 months developing something that will last people half a day. That's if anyone's even interested in the first place. The point that I want to make in this video is, I think with this game, seeing its reception even back when it released in November, since then, Treyarch have gone about this the wrong way. What I personally would have done if I was one of the developers is, yes, added the Pack-a-Punch camo, work on adding the bare essentials, but I'd just totally forget about Duranfang and use that time to work on a new map instead. I think this map is too far gone. If you continue to add content into this map, you're also adding content into an objective-based mode that the majority of players just don't want. And I'm not saying totally forget about the game as well, don't add any content at all, because we've already paid for it now. We were promised content to be added from season 1 to 6, so it would be wrong to just totally forget about it, but that's not what I mean. What I'm saying is the path that they're going down, releasing content in seasons, I don't think is the right route to take this game now. Personally, now that we've got a Pack-a-Punch camo and the Tomb of Rituals, I wouldn't add any more regions to Duranfang, I wouldn't add any more objectives to this mode, I wouldn't even add in any small Easter eggs. The main Easter egg is almost done, so that's fine, but after that, just work on a new round-based map instead. Don't continue to add regions, objectives, just irrelevant content that they've spent time working on only for people to not care about. So there we go. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Do you agree? Don't you? I'd be interested to hear what you guys think. Drop a like rating if you have enjoyed, and make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest videos on the channel. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Until then, goodbye.